Welcome back to Flint Creek Transport. My name is Justin. This is the end of a truck. We sold one of our trucks, truck 123. Here it goes. She gone. It's actually not going too far away, so maybe we'll see the truck around in the summertime. It's going to a good home. We'll see what else shows up here. That is truck number 156 that just backed in behind me. That is a truck that I haven't really shown you guys a lot, but that is a Kenworth glider, come out of Texas, clean truck, beautiful. It is sporting a cat engine. A couple of the trucks are coming back in. Truck 125, sitting over there. Truck 140, getting backed in for the night. Well, good morning. I am not at the Children's Hospital anymore, but I was. So I'm at our Rochester store. But what I wanted to tell you guys is, just a few weeks ago, my nephew was at his place putting the garage door down and got his arm in a garage door, ended up taking his arm off. And so he was up at the hospital for the night. I spent the night with him in there. And I asked him if he wanted to go on YouTube and wanted to do a little video with him, but nah, he didn't want to. But his name is Preston. And if you guys wouldn't mind, say a little prayer for Preston. He lost his right arm. And definitely he's got a lot of challenges, got a lot of new ways of doing things coming up. So say a little prayer for him if you don't mind. He's been through a ton of surgeries, and like I said, this happened a couple weeks ago. He's probably had 8 or 10 surgeries, and he's still got a couple more surgeries to go, and then they'll talk about coming home. So it's been very challenging for him, for his parents, the family. We've been trying to support him as much as we can, and he's doing good. Biggest thing, you know, you got to wake up in the morning and you got to say, is this going to make me bitter or is it going to make me better? And that's a choice that we all have. Some of us are more blessed than others. So usually I pop up here once a week or so and just check over everything. That's why I'm up at Rochester. The hospital was only just a few miles away. So that's why I popped in here and checked out the store. Finally getting a little sun today. It's not too bad. All right, guys, I am in the shop and I'm going to show you guys a little bit what's going on in the shop. We have a project that started. This is a different project. We got a lot going on this winter. You know, like I might have mentioned in the last video, but wintertime is when we do our odds and ends and paint frames and do all these different things, do the projects, because it's cold outside. Winter's a good time to do it, and most of the time that is when we're not as busy. So we also have spare trucks available or more trucks available, so we can flip a guy in a different truck. Kind of goes alongside with our landscape supply business. So with the stone business in the summertime, you know, I have to utilize 3, 4 trucks, 5 trucks sometimes delivering stone. Whereas now those guys can help out, or those trucks, we're not running them near as much. So the stone business, I mean, there's about 2 or 3 months there that's pretty much not much going on. But then the rest of the season, there's quite a bit. But right now, this is truck 104. This is another truck. So the last truck was in here was truck 151. That truck was primarily a flatbed truck. This truck is truck 104. This is also primarily a flatbed truck. This truck does have a wet line on though. This truck had hauled mulch or ran walking floor before, But now the guy that runs this pretty much runs flatbed and spider, like with a forklift on the back most of the time. We bought this truck out of New Jersey, and this truck, I'll show you what color this truck actually was when we bought it. And it was like this burgundy purple. You know what? I wonder if it would say on the in the dash. I'll have to check that out. This we actually painted this, so this was kind of coming this purple color, whatever. We changed it to this blue. It was actually called a plum. So we changed this plum color, and we painted the cab, but we never painted the frame. Well, after years of use in New Jersey and then up into New York, I tell you, this truck took a beating, and this one had a lot of rust. And so we had kind of touched up the frame here and there. You can see right in here we had touched it up a little bit, but it was just getting really bad, and we really need to do something. So this winter, or this probably here sometime in February or probably March, we're gonna get this thing sandblasted and painted. There's a guy gonna come out here and get it done. Right now they're just working on stripping everything out, tearing everything out, getting it prepped, getting it ready. So hopefully by April, this truck can be ready to go. One of the things I just want to show you real quick. So this is green, this is the glider beside it here. I want to show you the difference between a 46,000 pound suspension and a 40,000 pound suspension. So this is the 46, and I don't know if you can see it well on the camera, but if you look at that pumpkin, look at that thing, and then you come over here and look at this one. It's definitely a little size difference. Definitely a little size difference. But so far, the 46,000 pound suspension hasn't proved to be any better, really, for what we do. If anything, like, I try to stay away from the 46,000 pound suspension, because the parts are much more expensive. So when you bust, instead of busting an actual shaft, well, so let me back up. With a 46,000 pound suspension, usually you don't bust an axle shaft. Usually it is, you're gonna take out a rear. Whereas a 40K suspension, you're quicker to bust an axle shaft. So, which is a lot less to fix than replacing the rears. And the rears in these trucks are very expensive. On a 46K suspension, parts are a lot more. As you can see here, they got the tanks off, they got the exhausts. This truck had all kinds of lights on it when we got it, and we ended up taking a bunch of lights off. And I think an owner-operator had it out of Jersey because, yeah, he had underglow. He had all kind of stuff in this thing, and they're just kind of getting to tearing it all off. So the sandblaster, he's going to come probably right up into this area. We're going to take that bracket off and try to get. We'll probably do some of the painting up here ourselves. Gives you a little idea of some of the corrosion and stuff that we deal with here in New York. Something else that's going to get replaced is this panel right here. So you can see there's already a hole corroded right in there. And these panels are actually fairly inexpensive. It's just some labor to do it. And while we have the truck down, it's like, you know what, we might as well get this done. So this panel, this corner panel, and then same way with the other side, that corner panel will get done. We're just gonna keep the lights, everything the same on there. I think the door, you can see it's missing a huck there, and this door is gonna get redone. Not sure if it's gonna get replaced or not, but get it redone. We're gonna pull this ladder over here, and we're gonna climb up in this rig to see what color it is. Or what color it was, I should say. So I got the paint code on it. If anybody wants to guess the color, so again, you can see the color, what it was. Go ahead, I'll give you a couple minutes. Or you can comment before I tell you. But in the meantime here, I'm going to go over what we face here in New York with our rust. So you see this? Mm-hmm. Are you gonna cut that out?
That's good. Yeah, that's gonna be one where we're gonna take this all apart.
So there's a lot of Kenworth guys out there, and I've had some questions on some guys that, what do you do? Where do you get the parts and stuff like that? So let's just, if you got a minute, let's touch on it.
So on 144 was pretty similar to this. And what we ended up doing was coming up and cutting this whole door frame out and welding one in right here and just setting it in, rehucking everything. This here, you can see this is the actual floor. There,
Yeah, look at that.
It's got a hole in it. That's going to have to, when we take these corners off, we'll open up that floor, possibly replace that sheet underneath there. So, because we're going to pull the floor up, all the salt and stuff over the years. We just did the 151.
Yep.
And that was actually a lot nicer underneath than I expected. There was no corrosion that was going through the floor. Here, I expect there to be.
And the rubber mat is actually a little bit nicer to put
is.
in than carpet, so we
You
wouldn't
can
put
wipe it
carpet.
down.
Yeah, we wouldn't put carpet back in. Interesting. So where do you get this stuff? Do you have to? Can you get it from Kenworth, or do you have to get that from a junkyard?
We've always just been taking it out of other cabs.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So that gives you an idea. You could. Can you get that stuff from Kenworth? You think?
I haven't honestly checked.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then the panels are just aluminum.
So
The floor is just aluminum.
Yeah.
Sorry, not the panels. The
flooring.
The flooring.
That's just gonna be aluminum sheeting.
Aluminum sheeting.
Cut. Yep. Same with the back of that sleeper over there. That's just gonna be aluminum sheeting.
Yeah.
Give us a blank sheet to work off of.
Yep. Perfect. All right. So color combination, color code. Even Trevor was like, "What color is this?" All right. So it was Hawaiian orchid. Whoever heard of that color? Hawaiian orchid. So if you guessed, if you want to paint a color or paint a truck Hawaiian orchid, it would end up being that color. So that's a new one.
It is. Yep.
That's a new one. Actually, here you can see a little bit of the color too. That's an old bracket. Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks, Trevor. How does this door sound? Oh yeah, that one.
That one you can see where we had welded it before because it always screws the paint up.
Yep.
But this is, you can actually see it moving it out when I touch it.
Yep. So there you actually take the door apart from the inside.
This whole door is coming apart, and then we gotta lay welds down in the edges.
So you tack it all back together.
Best
So there you go.
It's now because you're not gonna have to worry about messing up the paint.
Right. Right. So before we get it painted, so that's another part of it that I don't know if I mentioned. We're gonna paint this truck again. So this truck's gonna get painted, and Trevor come up with a good idea. This is truck 104. This truck over here, let me show you. This truck over here is truck 154. So exactly 50 numbers higher. And he's thinking that because this truck is green, pretty green, this truck should also be pretty green. I don't know. Although green and yellow does go together.
Very much so.
You know, look at that. Green and yellow it does go together. I don't know. He's got me definitely going to be thinking about that one. So I have some time to think on it. I'm going to think on that one, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be more similar to maybe a Hawaiian blue instead of a Hawaiian orchid.
Yeah.
So
I'm good without the orchid.
yeah, we'll leave the orchid in Hawaii. So that gives you an idea what's going on with this truck. Maybe we even might some of these lights.
Oh, those lights up.
Need to go. Hey, you know what? Look at this. Is that from the fire?
No. This is somebody was backing in next to the truck and caught it with their trailer. Actually caved this whole thing in almost to where the lights were.
Wow.
And we were able to roll it back out and we use that for now. But this is gonna have to get a
new skin. New air cleaner. And when I said about the fire, so we had one of our trucks. We had a truck that burnt, truck 103. That one, there was another truck pretty close to it, and I was thinking there was a couple trucks fairly close, but it melted. The hood, wasn't it truck 108?
It was 108 before we painted it.
Yep.
And what it had done is it had on the side of the hood, right here, because it was a metal hood.
Yep.
It actually rippled the hood down through, and it melted the lights here and along the bottom of the cab. And one of the guys actually got in the truck at that point and started it. He said he couldn't touch anything on the side of the truck, and the window, he actually burned his hand pretty bad touching the glass on the window.
Wow.
But he got it out of there.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do any work other than replace this lens to get it to go back in service.
Yep.
So
So no video on that. That actually, yeah, that happened several years ago, quite a few years ago. So
we still have that frame out there.
yeah, I know. That's the one that we got to do something with. Maybe at some point. I know. We got lots of work to do here. So one of the things that we do with our trucks when we paint them, and I'll show you. I got two trucks side by side, both with the hoods open, right? And the difference between these two hoods, right? So look at that, and then you look at this one, and there's no Kenworth emblem on the green truck. This one there is, obviously. That was like that, and when we paint them, we usually end up taking the Kenworth right off and clearing everything, and gives it, I think, maybe looks a little bit longer, right?
Just a nice clean look and stretches
So
out.
that's what we're gonna be doing with this truck as well. So, and then those lights you can throw away, right?
I could keep them.
You sure you want to keep?
That's why I tell what trucks are coming with. Is the combination of lights in it. New combination.
Some of these unnecessary lights, right? Unnecessary lights. All right, and here we got all the tanks and all the parts from this rig. A lot of parts. Lots and lots of stuff. Gives you a little idea what we're working with. And thankfully, we got a nice big warm shop. So, and we got some time. So I'll keep you guys updated on this rig. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.